Hello students, today we are comparing the two physical quantity that you learned in the last session, distance and displacement. Hope you all remember the definition of distance and displacement. Distance is the total length of the path travelled by the object, whereas displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final point. The point of similarity between these two quantities is both are length measurement. Both distance and displacement are length measurement. So the SI unit of these quantities are meter. The SI unit is meter. You can also use the unit like centimeter, kilometer, etc. can be used for the measurement of distance and displacement. Now see some other points of difference between these quantities. For that, suppose if you have an object in motion which is starting from the point O, an object starts its motion from the point O and is moving through a straight line like this. After 1 second, it covers a 5 meter, 2 second, 10 meter, 3 second, 15 meter, and after 4 second, it reached 20 meter away from the starting point. It reached at a point A. Now see the different situation. In first situation, okay, the object started from the point O and reached at the point A. So what is distance covered by the object? What is distance covered by the object? It starts from the point O and reached at a point A. Distance is equal to what? OA. OA is equal to what? OA is equal to 20 meter. OA is equal to 20 meter. And the same situation, what is displacement? What is displacement? Displacement is equal to starting point. This is the starting point. Okay, starting point, and this is the final point. A is the final point. What is the shortest distance between them? That is again OA itself. That is O is 20 meter. So in this situation, distance and displacement having a same value. In some situation, distance can be equal to displacement. If the object is moving in a particular direction in a straight line, distance can be equal to what? Displacement. Now see another situation. Can an object is traveling from the point O and reached at a point A, and the object is not stopping there. The object is returning through the same path and reached the starting point O itself. That is the second situation that you have taken. The object is traveling towards A and reached at A and returned back and reached at the point O itself, starting point itself. So what is distance covered by the object? Distance covered by the object is equal to OA towards right side, and during its return it covers a distance AO. Is it AO towards left side? AO. What is OA? It is 20. And what is AO? That's also 20. So that's equal to 40 meter. What is the distance travelled by the object is equal to what? 40 meter. Whereas what is displacement of the object? What is displacement of the object? Displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final point. But in this situation, in a second situation, our object is starting from this point, and after its motion, it reached here itself. Final point is at O itself. So what is the shortest distance between the starting point and the final point? In that example is displacement comes to 0. Displacement comes to 0. So second important point, the displacement can be 0. But distance travelled by the object is not a 0. Displacement of an object cannot be, displacement of an object can be 0, but distance traveled by the object cannot be 0. And suppose in the second example, okay, the object is traveling towards A and reached at A and is returned back to the point O. After that, the object is moving towards the left of the origin. This is our starting point or origin. It's cover a 5 meter towards left side of the starting point. Okay, a 5 meter towards left side of the starting point. So let us again find what is distance. Distance is equal to it cover a 20 meter towards A and 20 meter towards O, 20 plus 20 40 and plus 5 meter towards left of the starting point. So what is distance? It is 45 meter. Whereas what is displacement? Whereas the displacement is equal to minus 5 meter, because this is the starting point and this is the final point. Anything towards left side of the origin is taken as minus, so it is minus. Displacement is minus 5. So 3 important points that you seen about distance and displacement. That is, in some situation distance can be equal to displacement. In some situation distance is not equal to 0 and displacement can be 0. And in some other situation the displacement can be negative. So displacement can be either positive value or negative value or even can be 0 value. An example for a 0 displacement: if an object is traveling through a circular path of radius r, its starting point is here and it moving through a circular path and reach here itself. What is distance? Distance is the circumference of the circle. What is that? Distance is equal to what? Distance is equal to 2 pi r. Is it 2 pi r? What is displacement? Displacement is equal to 0. Why? Because this is a starting point and it reached here itself, so there is no displacement. Now once more you see here the difference between the distance and the displacements are tabulated here, the 4 points of difference. One is definition itself, it is the total length of the path covered by the moving object. Whereas displacement is the shortest distance between initial and the final point. And the second point of difference, distance, it have no direction. It have no direction. Distance have no direction. But displacement have a direction. Displacement have direction, whereas distance have no direction. And the third point of difference, as distance have no direction, it is a scalar quantity. Remember, a scalar quantity is a quantity have no direction. Whereas displacement having a direction, so we consider it is a vector quantity. And the fourth point, the most important point that we told, it is always positive. Distance travelled by a moving object is always positive. If it is in motion, it is positive. Whereas the displacement can be positive value and it can be a negative value. When is negative? If it is moving opposite direction. If the motion, if you are taking towards right, is taken as positive, and the opposite direction of that or towards left side of the origin is taken as what? Negative. So it can be a negative value, or it can be even 0 value. If the starting point itself is the final point, it can be 0 value. So that are the main point of difference between the distance and the displacement. Thank you.